right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Greatly appreciate you taking the time out this morning to join us for this exciting event in the health system's history. I'm happy to introduce our interim CEO and president of South Shore Health System, Rose DiPietro.
Thank you all for coming, and good morning on behalf of the directors of the board of South Shore Health. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here today. This is a milestone in our 97-year history, and we are so excited. South Shore Medical Center brings world-class care to the city of Quincy, to the families, to the community, and for folks living here in the city of Quincy and around Quincy. For those of you who don't know, I am a Quincy girl. So similar to what's happening in Quincy, as you can see outside, all the growth and development and everything that's been happening here, South Shore Health is also growing. Since 2001, we've expanded a number of our programs and services, our maternity, our surgery, cardiovascular, our neonatology area. We've become a trauma center. We've opened a cancer center. We have an orthopedics building. We've redone our critical care platform. We've merged with Health Express for urgent care and working with behavioral health providers and substance abuse providers in the community. So we're becoming a really well-rounded system of healthcare to benefit our community and our patients. A little bit about South Shore Medical Center. They've been around since 1962. They're currently located in Norwell, Kingston, and Weymouth, and now in Quincy. They have been a choice for South Shore residents for many years because of their quality of care, but also because of their caring and compassionate nature of how they manage patients, both keeping them free of illness, but also making sure that their wellness needs are being taken care of. So we're very thrilled to bring this expertise to this beautiful new location. I walked in and I was like, wow. So I'm hoping that you all had the same reaction. This area here will now specialize in primary care. That's internal medicine, family medicine, OB/GYN, and also we'll have some specialists here. So it'll be a very well-rounded place for people to receive care. Whether they need a routine checkup or they need something more complex or a wellness visit, they'll be able to do that here. We'll have x-rays, we'll have labs. We'll be able to really treat and diagnose a wide variety of illnesses, but also at the same time really work towards keeping the people in the community healthy. And because they're part of South Shore Health, the connections that they have will be tremendous. So they'll be connected to not only our hospital, but our home health department, our urgent care, and all of the other services I talked about earlier. I believe I speak for the entire South Shore Health community when I tell you how pleased we are that we are to join the city here and be a dedicated healthcare provider for the people of Quincy. I know you've had a vision for healthcare for many years. I know you and I have talked about this in the past, and we are just pleased that this is the first step in really creating a healthy community for the city of Quincy by providing this level of service. So we're very proud to be here. This has been great. I am just in awe of everything that's happened outside. The revitalization of Quincy, the development that's been happening in Quincy Center really turning into a destination. This is really just phenomenal. It really honors the city's deep and great roots. I thank you for allowing us to be part of this. Thank you. I would like to present and welcome some special guests. So this morning we have with us City Councilors Dave McCarthy, Rob Stevens from the Planning Department, Attorney Bill O'Gary from the Mayor's Office, State Representative Taki Chan, who's also here. So maybe you guys can just lift your hands so people know who you are. Thank you very much for coming here. And it's now my pleasure to introduce to you Ken Kirkland, who's the chairman of our board.
So before we start, and people know me who do know me pretty well, I probably go to Alba's restaurant 2 to 3 times a week where I do all my business meetings. So Joe, there's no conflict of interest here today. And if everybody thinks that I chose this location, I had nothing to do with the choice of this place. But I now know I can go get my blood tests and everything else after I go over there and have a few drinks and dinner. But thank you for everybody. But I want to thank everybody here today, and thank you, Rose. Rose has done a tremendous job for maybe people that are not familiar. I know, unfortunately, we're going through a situation. We're working our way through things, but Rose stepped up for me when I called her and asked her if she would come back for the passion she had for our organization. And what she has done for us in the last 6 weeks has been nothing but amazing, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've done. Mayor Koch and the elected officials and the South Shore Health System Medical Center and leaders and staff, I'd like to recognize the entire South Shore Health Board of Directors, including our Vice Chairman, Brian Concanon, who is here today for the dedication in our health system and our mission. And this is just a continuation of the mission that we've had over the last number of years. And it's just amazing to continue to see that the strategies that we're putting forth, when you get to walk in a room like this today and know that it's coming to fruition, is just incredible. It's a beautiful state-of-the-art facility, and it's providing us with the world-class medical care patients for who not only live and work in Quincy, but for all of us in southeastern Massachusetts. As a charitable health organization, we are united in our mission to improve the health of our families, friends, and neighbors, and to bring the caregivers and the excellence of medicine together as one and bringing it local to the communities we love. As the region's largest health system, we work cooperatively in partnership with communications. We are served to advance the region's health, well-being, and Quincy will be no exception to what our strategy is about. I represent the entire board in saying how grateful we are to have worked with Mayor Koch and the outstanding members of his team in making our dreams become part of this community and a reality. Quincy is a vibrant city made up of people from many cultures, and we are very excited. We will be working diligently to provide superior care to the patients from diverse backgrounds, values, and beliefs. Leading up to our opening next week, we have collaboratively worked with the city, community leaders, to tailor the delivery of care and a site to meet the patient's social, cultural, and linguistic needs. Last year alone, South Shore Health invested more than $2 million in wellness, prevention, and support programs to the community it serves, including the city of Quincy. And I'll pause on that to tell you that's reality. We sit in our boardroom, and we had a meeting just yesterday, and we have the people come in from the health system to talk to the board of directors to let us know what we are doing for our communities up and beyond just giving good health care. And we're proud of what we can do to be a part of the community. They're our friends, our family. We want to make sure that we stay and show everybody that South Shore Health System is more than just a hospital or just a giver of care. Those investments included health education, as I just said, and cardiovascular health, diabetes management, cancer prevention, and reduced cost wellness programs for the risk of our populations. We've teamed up with the Quincy Public Schools to educate the students about the many careers in the field of healthcare at Quincy, at the Quincy High School's annual career exploration event. Additionally, South Shore Health serves as one of the largest economic engines in this region by employing more than 5,600 people, and more than $100 million of goods and services are purchased within this region. On behalf of South Shore Health, it's with great sense of gratitude and excitement that I express our deep commitment to Quincy and the health and wellness of its residents. I would like to introduce the Mayor of the City of Quincy, Thomas Koch.
Thank you, Ken, and thank you, Rose, and thank you to South Shore for your confidence in Quincy. We're grateful you're here as a partner to us. I did want to acknowledge there's a couple other folks here, Maureen Gary and Jimmy Scribby, also from the planning department. As you can see throughout Quincy Center, there's been a lot going on. Obviously, you've seen it weekly or every other day, Ken. And that's a good choice, by the way. We're undergoing a major transformation, and we're delighted that you're a partner in that transformation. We've been at the table with Fox Rock and Peter O'Connell and LBC and QMC and so many others in the commitment and the investment that we're seeing in this great historic city that we enjoy. And we're looking forward to take a good look out back, folks, because it's going to change drastically in the coming months and years. And we're looking forward to that combination of South Shore and Brigham on a 200,000 square foot medical facility in the back. You know, I take a little bit of a beating over the years politically because people come up to me and say, "Why did you close Quincy Hospital?" You know, obviously, they have no understanding of my ability. It was a private hospital at that point. And they obviously don't understand the marketplace. But what they do understand is the need for quality health care. And this is a major step forward and a message to those people that though I don't see an acute care hospital, there's an awful lot of gaps to fill. And I think this is the beginning of filling some of those gaps for the people of our city. So I'm truly grateful for that. I mentioned if you looked out back, what's under construction right now is a new bridge, the egress over the tracks between Bergen and into the site here. And just a little history, the building you're in now was built for Hancock Bank, which was one of the several Quincy banks at one time. I think the safe may still be downstairs. It's probably where Leo from Alba keeps his money. But the construction out back here, right now with that bridge, is we're going to be honoring, it's going to be called the General's Bridge, if you may not have heard about it. But there's several generals from Quincy. In fact, the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff just stepping down, Joe Dunford, grew up in Marymount. It doesn't get any higher than chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The Chief of Staff of the Army, Four-Star General James McConville, grew up in Marymount. And General Gordon Sullivan, who's now in his 80s, was Chief of Staff in the 90s, grew up in Quincy, in Lincoln Square area. We have General Ronald Rand, who's one of 8 boys from Quincy Point. He was a general in the Air Force. We have Charlie Sweeney, who was a general in World War II. He was the only person on both flights that dropped the atomic bombs in Japan. He was a North Quincy High grad. We have Frank McGinn, who's a 2-star general today in the Guard. And if you go back historically, there are more, but we're honoring those 6 generals with the naming of the bridge. And in the back here, there's going to be some beautiful, beautiful parks as part of this development. So going forward, both your employees and patients will be able to enjoy the beautiful public spaces. So I'm truly grateful for the commitment. Looking forward to many more ribbon cuttings, both with South Shore and so many other entities in our great historic city. So congratulations, and thank you for the opportunity to say hello this morning.
And I'd like to introduce Dr. David Halley, Medical Director of our Ambulatory Division.
And good morning. Thank you for actually attending this great ceremony. So primary care, I'm here to talk to you about primary care and what we're going to be delivering here. Primary care is about building trust in relationships with each individual patient. It's just not about the individual patient, but it's also the community that they come from. So a great primary care practice keeps an eye on both of those goals. And South Shore Health is intent on establishing partnerships that is moving care out of the hospital environment into the communities. To that end, it is our responsibility as a healthcare system and community partner to reimagine healthcare. We want it to be sustainable, we want it to be accessible, we want it to be of high quality. And a big part of healthcare is convenience. So with the opening of South Shore Medical Center Quincy, that's what we're calling this entity, we are taking that next step in ensuring that we will meet our patients and their families' needs. So South Shore Medical Center, a little bit about it. You heard Rose, you heard talk a little bit about this. Our journey began in 1962, 75 Washington Street, Norwell, Mass. Very small little hut, I call it a hut, that expanded with time. 57 years we've been delivering primary care to the South Coast and to the South Shore of Boston, to tens of thousands of individuals. Today, South Shore Medical Center is the ambulatory arm of South Shore Health. We are made up of over 100 internal medicine, family medicine, pediatric, and specialty providers, over 100. And we do that because we're supported by an excellent, excellent support staff. Together, we put together a great deal of thought into making this location and this space comfortable and convenient. So Mayor Koch talked a little bit about this building. I'm a big fan of architecture and history, and this building actually has a little bit of both. 1896, this is when this building opened. It opened up as a bank. Guess what it became afterwards? Sheridan's department store. And if you kind of Google Sheridan's, you'll find a lot of individuals who wrote in the last 10 to 20 years talking about Christmas, coming here to buy gifts. This was really one of the main department stores in all of Quincy. This place was incredible. Then it became an incubator for restaurants. Well, we heard about Albus. Well, guess what? Albus began in this building on the first floor. This is where it all began before it moved across the street. And subsequent to that, many other restaurants came through. And just last month, Fat Cat moved over from Chestnut Street to the first floor of this building. This is a wonderful place. Now this building is transforming itself from a bank to a department store to an incubator of eateries to now healthcare. Pretty amazing. Think about that as a history, that type of thing. So I'm extremely proud of the work that this entire project team has actually completed. We're opening our doors next Tuesday, October 1st, and there are many individuals to thank, but there are a few that I would like to call out. Number one, Fox Rock Properties. South Shore Medical Center has been partnering with Fox Rock Properties for over a decade. We developed together Libby Parkway, where we actually put a satellite primary care office. Then our hub of ambulatory is actually in Longwater Drive in Norwell. And third, is a third entity. In particular, at Fox Rock, we want to give a shout out to Jason Ward. He's always been thoughtful, upfront, and very direct. Jason, are you here? I haven't seen him. Hey, Jason. Thank you. So, then Helicon. Let's talk about Helicon. Helicon are actually the architects, in particular Eric Gold and Tim Chilson. They actually brought a lot of the flavor of what we've actually developed in Longwater and brought it into this space. If you guys saw what this building looked like before, it's big transformation. Then we have Barletta. Those are our contractors. Kevin Spellman, Chris Mead, John Cummings. They really made this place hum. Tracy Bond and the entire information systems team. Support services and facility planning at South Shore. So we got Liz Bonner. Can you raise your hand? Hey, Liz. And we got Art Wambocat. We have Wally Byrne and Don Amola. All incredible. They've been involved with us in multiple different levels, from big picture to little picture and all the details in between. And our entire implementation team, Susan Wood, Peg Halfkamaya. Peg, this is her last project, and she was with us with Libby Parkway and Longwater, and this is her sermon, the last one. And a very special thanks to Lorraine Cavell. Where are you, Lorraine? There's never been a detail that's been overlooked because of Lorraine, so thank you. And I'd also like to thank the providers and staff. A few years ago, when South Shore Health was planning on how to deliver better health care to Quincy, it really started with the fundamentals, and the fundamentals really was about we need to bring primary care. Start out with that, and let's build up from that. So our physicians and advanced practice clinicians were specifically recruited to this great city. Many who have joined us have been caring for patients at other Quincy sites, but they wanted to join a healthcare organization that was more robust and innovative in how they delivered care. And the others actually live in the city or in a surrounding community, and they wanted to give back. So our collective goal is to prevent or stop illnesses and their complications in the early stages, and to do that, we need to develop strong partnerships with the providers, with our staff, but most importantly, our patients in the community that they're in. So next Tuesday, when we open our doors, we will be delivering primary care to children and adults. We'll have 9 primary care providers here, 9. We'll have obstetrics and gynecology. We're going to have behavioral health embedded, that's a key piece, embedded within primary care to help promote the well-being and mental health of all patients. As you may already know, Health Express, which is part of South Shore Health, is right around the corner on Parking Way. And they're open 7 days a week, delivering urgent care. As we grow, we will continue to add other specialties and providers. We are very happy to now officially hold a stake, truly hold a stake in this community, the largest community on the South Shore, in partnership together as one. Thank you. And now we'll have our ribbon cutting ceremony.